down with a cold draft beer. Bakery, market, and eatery. That's Two Fish Baking at Stewart's Point, a destination of deliciousness. Find out more at twofishbaking.com or call 707-785-2011. That's 707-785-2011.
Good morning and welcome to Peggy's Place. This is Leigh and Lindsey, your host today of the Sea Storm Studios in the Sea Ranch, a video and film and audio production company. And we have a great couple up today to talk about a photography workshop that's going to be happening here along our Mendonoma Coast. That's Neil and Susan Silverman. They are waiting here on Zoom. We are also live on YouTube. This is KGUA in Gualala, 88.3 FM, and we do stream everywhere online at kgua.org. Just click listen live at the top of the page. And before we get into our show, of course, we've got all the events to mention. This is a big weekend here on the coast. And first, I'll let you know that as I drove in this morning on the beautiful blue skies, it's going to be about 64 degrees a day, by the way. It's already about 55. But I stopped in at Surf Market and the grill was going and Josh was out there just cooking up a storm. They've got baby back ribs, full tri-tip, chicken. They are also doing roasted sweet potatoes with everything on them. And they have fresh made clam chowder today, something very different from what they normally do. And they said that they're cooking it with their own recipe. I'm stopping in there afterwards to get some. And then, of course, they've got their roasted corn on the cob and whole dill pickles. That's today at Surf Market. And looking at our events calendar up in Point Arena, it's a big weekend, starting with this evening at 5:30. There's a pasta dinner and sauce contest fundraiser for the Pacific Community Charter School, which will be serving pasta, bread, and salad, along with a variety of locally made sauces, and everyone will vote for their favorite sauce. So that is at the Community Center at St. Paul's in Point Arena, 5:30 to 7:30. Then this weekend, of course, it is the huge Fringe Festival up in Point Arena, and they're combining it this year with the Wind and Whale Festival at the Lighthouse, which means all those huge kites up in the sky that are sea creatures of all types. And that's the Berkeley Kite Wranglers that are coming up to do that. If you've never seen it, it is a spectacle to be able to behold. And not only that, but Scott and Tree Mercer are going to be there talking about the whales that are passing along our coast with their young ones in tow. And that is going to be at the Lighthouse. Also at the Lighthouse, Alan and Astrid are going to be there from the farm with their wonderful pastries, scones, quiches, and even Belgian waffles. Alan wrote to me yesterday. The gluten-free as well. They're going to top it with fresh made whipped cream and fruit, as well as cinnamon and sugar. So your choice, but that's going to be at the Lighthouse. And the Fringe Festival is throughout Point Arena and also down at the harbor. There's, in fact, a new lounge, the Wave Lounge at the Wharf Master Inn that we want to check out. I've got a couple of friends, actually 4 friends who are going up with me tomorrow to the Fringe Festival. And we want to try out all these places like the Wave Lounge there in the harbor. And they will be serving up a special drink for the festival. And then in town, there's going to be the Druid Hall event with all the arts and crafts. And there's music, there's stuff for the kids. It goes all day long from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. In fact, even some are starting earlier than that, like Franny's Cup and Saucer with their delicious savory and sweet pastries, as well as the co-op. And right outside in the old grocery parking lot, they've got all kinds of fish tacos and flowers. And I know that our wonderful Izakaya Gama is going to be open from 11 to 7, something very unusual. And they've got a brand new Japanese grill. So Izakaya Gama is going to be open all day, 11 to 7. I cannot believe it. And what else is happening there? There's a free MTA shuttle from the lighthouse to the cove. And then there's a whole schedule of events that you can see online. In fact, you just search for Almost Fringe Festival in Point Arena and it will pop up, but it's also under the Point Arena website. And let's see what else is happening in Point Arena both days, Saturday and Sunday, at the Coast Community Library. There's going to be books galore, a book sale, and that will benefit the Friends of the Coast Community Library. There's books, CDs, DVDs, and movies for children and adults. That's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday. And there's an opening reception at the Coast Highway Art Collective for this specific event, 3 to 7 p.m. And it runs until the 29th. And music with Bards of a Feather will be playing from 2 to 5 p.m. Lots of music happening all throughout the festival. So if you're looking for great food and music and arts and crafts, Point Arena is the place to be this Saturday. And then at the Arena Theater, part of the Almost Fringe Festival is going to be Antic in a Drain, Tempting Fate. It's a satirical sideshow entertainment reflecting the House of Mirrors called Climate Change. And that's part of this festival, as I was saying, and that starts at 7 p.m. That, I think, is going to do it for our announcement. Oh, wait, there's one more I've got here, and that's the Matter of Balance course that starts next Monday. There are a couple of seats left, and this is from Mendonoma Health Alliance. And it will be every Monday from 10 a.m. to noon at the Bill Platt Conference Room at the Coastal Life Support District, right up the street here from our station. And that is available to register by calling 707-412-3176, extension 102. That's 412-3176, or just call Mendonoma Health and ask them how to sign up. So that's going to do it. And we're going to welcome now Neil and Susan Silverman to KGUA. Hello, you two. I haven't seen you in a while.
Good morning. How are you? That's a lot of food to think about.
I know, right? Just eat all day long.
I know. Starting with 2 fish in the beginning onto the festival. It's amazing. It's great.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
So you guys are in your, you're not in the Sea Ranch at the moment. Where are you right now?
We're down in Santa Rosa. We're doing a wedding in Petaluma tomorrow.
Photographing a
Ah.
wedding. So we're going to miss the festival.
That's right. But we at least have a half an hour with you here today. So
Thank you. That's great.
yeah, and let's jump into this. You know, of course, I've loved photography all my life, ever since I got one of those Kodak disposables when I was a little girl. And then I actually took darkroom at Aspen High School at 16, and then started studying photojournalism in college. So even though I veered off into the tech industry for 2 decades, I finally got back to the visual arts. So I love everything photography. I want to hear all about your workshop that you're going to provide here on the coast. It sounds like so much fun. Why don't you give us an overview?
Okay, great. Well, it's coming up. It's May 10th through the 12th. And it's going to be a small group. And, you know, we've lived on the coast for many years, so we know a lot of unusual places, and we're always with our cameras. So it's just, you know, we know the photography, the photographic point of view. So it's really fun. And it's fun to take people and show them these new areas and also help them. And the thing of it is that, you know, we've been teaching and leading these workshops for many years. And when we started out, it wasn't quite the Brownie disposable, but it was film, slide, everybody had slides, then digital. And now we have a lot of people coming that bring just their phones, their iPhones, or their phone cameras, and they're amazing. So it's really fun. I mean, it's small. We have a lot of people. It's really people that are excited about photography or want to learn more. And
So
it's
it's
just-
a range of those that have the knowledge from beginners to advanced.
Exactly. Exactly.
We've had people that come with either a brand new phone or a brand new camera to full-time professional people that have come along with us on these.
So we've been doing it a long time, but we really enjoy it. And the thing of it is, it's small, so we keep it. It's not a cookie cutter, it's 9 o'clock, we have to be here. We can go with the flow and go with what people want and what they're interested in. So we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be beautiful. It's a great time of year. We actually had originally scheduled it for the beginning of January, and you know what happened then.
Oh, yeah. Our atmospheric river of storms and starting out with a wonderful cyclone blast that
I know. So that got put off, but we're not disappointed because it's so beautiful that it's the perfect time.
so many spring flowers are out everywhere.
I know it. It's great, and the ocean looks just pristine. I think it's bathed itself through all the storms. I think it's got itself in top-notch conditions. So, anyways, we're really looking forward to it.
Now, is it just going to be in the Sea Ranch, or does it go further north?
We could be anywhere from Salt Point up to Fort Bragg, but it really depends on the weather, the tides, the energy of the people, and kind of what they want. So it can be anything in between.
And Sea Ranch, of course, has over 50 miles of trails.
Right.
So what kind of trails do you go down? So what can people expect to be doing as they walk throughout their day?
Well, really, it depends on the group, but probably not real aggressive because it's going to be several people, and we don't really have time to go and do major hiking expeditions. There are just so many great places to photograph. And so I would say from a physical standpoint, just to be able to walk on a trail, that's about it.
But because there are two of us too, if somebody's a little hesitant doesn't want to go on a certain, one of us can go with somebody who's some people that maybe are a little bit more careful, more cautious in an area, but we don't, it's not a heavy duty trekking expedition.
Well, that's important for people to know.
Yeah. No, that's not our goal, is to put in the miles over the terrain. It's just not what we want to do.
I mean, the goal really is to have people learn how to take a great photograph. Because, for instance, with a camera, all you got to do is hold it up and push the button if you're on auto, and you're going to get a good picture. And with a phone, everybody knows how to hold it and push the button. But we're taking them way beyond that so that they can come up with interesting images. So when they show them to their friends or put them online or whatever they're going to do with them, or hang them on their walls. And hanging on the wall, the new iPhones, you can make the largest prints with, and they're gorgeous, absolutely spectacular. We're having one done right now that's 6 foot tall from an iPhone.
Wow.
It's another world that we're into now.
Well, also Droid phones, you can't disregard them because that's what I have, but they're also equally as good. Yeah.
All the new cliche is everybody has a camera with a phone in it now.
The funny thing is, I was working in the tech industry when the cameras first came out. They were clip-on, and I remember calling up several different of the carriers and asking them if they had theirs with a camera attachment available. And I recall a few of them saying, what, a phone? Why would anybody want a phone with their camera?
That's great. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? It really is. It's really, and some of the editing programs now on the phones, the things you can do with the phone itself are amazing. But, we still love our big cameras. We always take those, when we can, when it's plausible and doable, we always carry, because we both have, Nikons, the regular DSLR and tripods. So, this is going to be for anybody with any kind of equipment, because we're also meeting at the Arlene Jacobs Center. We have a meeting room there. So we're going to have some chance to do some kind of, not formal teaching. I don't want to say there's anything formal about us, but some teaching and discussions and, sharing of ideas. The thing that we love about our workshops are that the energy between the people, the camaraderie, and you always sometimes Don't you remember in school, sometimes you learn more from the kids sitting next to you than you did from the teacher. So it's that kind of thing, it's just fun. It's a good time, and hopefully people go away with good images and a lot more knowledge and confidence in their photography.
Especially because cameras these days are so complicated and complex. There's so many different settings that you can choose, and you can scroll through tons of them thinking, now what's going to give me better depth of field, better lighting, better the image quality even. I mean, there's so many ways to use your camera besides putting it on automatic.
That's
And
right.
For
That's
sure.
right.
And we go through all the settings. That's something that we do. All the icons, all the settings, a lot of the things that are confusing on the cameras or the phones. And we go through all of it.
Because that can be off-putting to some people. They just get put off by the technical. It kind of kills their spirit or their creativity or their just sense of having a good time. So our whole goal is for people to learn, but to have a really good time and learn to enjoy their equipment and be comfortable and use it as not as a weapon, but as something that they really enjoy. I mean, photography is wonderful now. It's just such an important part of our life, of our whole culture, no matter what. If you travel, or if you're with your family, or even if you're going to the festival in Point Arena, and I mean, it's just, these memories are worth keeping. We all look back whenever we see some of these old pictures, like of the logging or any of the fishing industry, or anything that went on up the coast. Those old pictures are, they're wonderful. They just really hit home. And so we want to hit home, have everybody get a few home runs too with their photography.
that's what's always driven me too throughout my life, is just being able to document things as I go along, and people, places, events, things that happen that may never come back again, to capture that moment in time.
That's right.
No?
And it's even true, like with just the recent storms we had up there, so much of the areas changed with the trees that are down and all. And I don't know what we were looking at the other day, and we thought, boy, this has really changed. We were glad that we had some pictures of it before that all happened. So you just never know.
Disaster zone now with all the fences down, and it just literally a hurricane hit us. But I want to ask you how the two of you work together during the class. How do you interact with your the people that are attending the class? What can they expect when they show up for the day?
Well, usually we get together early. We know we're always chasing light. Photographers are always chasing the good light. So we usually start out very early in the morning. And, we've have a sense after we've met everybody and have a feeling of what they want and what they're looking for, how far they want to walk or not walk, et cetera, how much they've traveled to get there. And then we kind of gear it for the next day around that. So we work together, but we separate too. I mean, both of us are really good at instructing and I don't want to say instructing because it sounds so formal, but kind of guiding people, so it's nice that we've worked together for many, many years. So we have a real sense and a good rhythm. And we've had people say the thing they enjoy is watching us together, because we do play off of each other, kind of. I don't know if that's the right word, but we just have a real sense of it. So we usually start out and we will go in, follow the light, and when we start to lose the light, probably go and get some breakfast or snack, whatever people want, possibly go back to the meeting room and do some talking. Or if we have another place, the light's great and we want to go somewhere else and people's energy and they're up for it, maybe we'll get coffee and go on. So we flex the day according to what people need and want.
But the big thing is, when you're with a small group, you get to see what other people are photographing and how they're photographing it. Because usually people are in their own little alone world and they don't get to share or get some ideas from other people. So they all play off of each other. It's pretty amazing. If you had 6 people standing in one area taking a photograph from a viewpoint, as an instructor, we know none of them are doing the same thing. They all have different settings. They have different lenses. They have a different way of seeing. some are vertical, some are horizontal, some are zoomed in, some are doing the wide angle. And usually that's all they think about. And then we get them to share with each other on what they're doing. And we go around and we're in everybody's viewfinder if they want us to be. So it's a real different experience for people that are photographing like that.
I like the thought of group creativity like that, with
Yeah.
going with the flow as well, tapping into each person's energy and what they're doing, what you're feeling, and also chasing light. That could be the title for a documentary. I'm always thinking in documentaries or movies or TV series.
You can come and video us doing a workshop anytime you want. We could use the video. But many times, there's been times where you have 5, 6 people, they're all photographing some incredible thing in front of them. And Susan turns around and finds out that the rainbow is behind them. I mean, the thing that happens when you're with a group, it's unbelievable energy.
And lots of times we get it near maybe sharing the photos if we're either in the back of the camera, or sometimes we'll put them up on a projector on the slide, and people say, "Oh, I was right there, but I didn't see it like that." So it's really nice because it opens up your box, so to speak, in our head. That's what we have fun with, having people get a new sense of what the possibilities of their own possibilities, not just ours. But
Well said.
yeah.
You're listening to Neil and Susan Silverman, and they are talking about their photography workshop that's coming up in May here in the Sea Ranch along the Mendocino Coast. We call it the Mendonoma Coast. And we'll go over the dates again and the details. Just a second, I wanted to let everybody know that this is KGUA in Gualala, 88.3 FM. I'm Leigh Lindsey, your host today. I'm also a filmmaker and voice production company is in the Sea Ranch called Sea Storm Studios. And this is Peggy's Place. And we are talking again about a photography workshop. Oh, and we're live on YouTube talking about visual. So you get a chance to watch this anytime afterwards, and we'll have it up on SoundCloud later. The show will repeat at 1:00. But let's go over the details again, the two of you. You're talking to us from Petaluma today. Or actually Santa Rosa. You've got a wedding to do in Petaluma tomorrow, I believe you said. You have a home in the Sea Ranch. You're a long time here on the coast. Go over what people can expect and what dates are.
So the dates are May 10th through May 12th. We'll start at 6 p.m. on May 10th. And we'll be involved with having a meeting room with discussions, sharing ideas, slides, etc., photos. They can expect to do a lot of photography. It's not going to be in indoors. It's definitely an outdoor. It's going to be very casual, but we're COVID conscious too. Anybody who's uncomfortable, or we're really encouraging that people are careful with that. So we're not going to be a large group jammed together in the interior. We're just going to kind of cater it, or I don't know what to say, cater it. What's the right word? Design it for the group that we have. We know some of the people that are coming. We're already aware of what they like, but we have some people coming that we're haven't really known that well. So we'll be able to just find what their interests are and be able to take them to some of the most beautiful spots that we know, other than the classic ones that people know from just being on the coast. We have some great areas that we like to share.
And how can people sign up or find out more information?
Our website is www.silvermans with a plural photography.com. So www.silvermansphotography.com. And
actually, you can just say silvermansphotography.com and that'll get people there.
I know. I'm still stuck on the W's.
There was a time when I heard people saying HTTP.
Right.
// Yeah.
Get to the nuts and bolts. So you guys have been doing these kinds of workshops for quite a while. You've got other ones planned besides this one. Tell us a bit more about that and some of your background.
Oh, okay. Actually, we are also doing one through the Gualala Arts Center in June. That's a 1 day, and that's strictly mainly for the phone camera. And our background is, what, you want to talk about that, Neil? You've been so quiet.
Well, years ago, many years ago, there was a photography workshop group that was probably the original workshop type of group in the United States. And we had done some workshops with them. And then at one point they asked us to assist with one. And then they asked us to lead one. And then we were leading a third of all the workshops across the US. So for a little over 15, 16 years, we were on the road about 6 months a year, going from place to place, teaching workshops.
They were based out of Kentucky. So it was national, but we traveled internationally. Then go ahead.
Well, then we wound up leading our own workshops at one point, and then we did some international ones. And now we're doing more along the coast since we moved to the coast. It's a pretty special place. And we'll probably still be doing them in Death Valley and up in Washington, and sometimes we do them in Maine, but a lot along the coast right now.
It always amazes me the quality of people that we've got here on our remote coast. Look at the experience and expertise you both bring to this workshop. It's amazing what background you've got all over the US, teaching those classes internationally too.
Thank you. I have to jump in and say one thing. Somebody always say to me, all the workshops you've taught, have you ever had any problems or people that you wish weren't there? And it's never been. And it's really interesting. And I think it's kind of nice today. There seems to be so much aggravation and tumult in the world, but people that come with a camera and want to get nice, it's a really nice experience. People enjoy each other. We've never had any problems or aggravations.
They really, the energy that goes amongst the group, it's pretty exciting.
It's really nice. It's just been everyone is a really nice experience. Every time we finish up, we just say, wow, what a group of people. And so many of them we've still been in touch with after 20 years. We're still friends and see them, and they live across the country and other parts of the world. So it's
like good therapy.
It is. It's just
we've had people come from Australia, from Germany to workshops, from all over.
Wow, that's really amazing. So I want to thank you for coming on the show today to talk with us again about your workshops. You were with us just a couple of years ago, I think it was, right?
It was before COVID, yeah.
Before COVID. Yep. And this is Neil and Susan Silverman. They're putting on a photography workshop May 10th through 12th right here along our Mendonoma Coast. And it's going to be a small group. There's still ways to sign up or find out more information by going to silvermansphotography.com. And you can also, is there a telephone number where they could call you, or just go to your website?
Sure. No, we're welcome to give out our phone number. It's 707-322-7100.
322-7100.
Right.
You got it?
That's perfect.
7100.
Got it.
7100. Got it. All right. Well, it's lovely to see both of your faces, and everybody. This is on YouTube as well. They are going to be available for your questions. Just give them a call or go to their website. And great to see you both again. And thanks for coming on to this place.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Take care. All right. We're going to say goodbye to our YouTube crowd because we're going to go into another half hour of the show with Counterspin. And you've been listening to KGUA in Gualala 88.3 FM on the lovely